All right, good evening, everybody. It's Tara with Tara Beth Stamps. Just gonna do a little updating here, make sure the video shows well. Oh, good. Looks like we've got a good setup here. Let me just mute that. Hopefully, I'll see those comments. Hi, as I said, this is Tara with Tara Beth Stamps. I'm an independent I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Mid-Missouri. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. If you're here watching live, give me a shout out, or if you're watching the replay, let me know that you were here. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. So I've got a different card that I'm going to do tonight. I've got a couple of samples. I played around with this today and made a couple. Hey, Rosie, good to see you. Thanks so much. Hey, Mary. So this is a card that I found on Pinterest. It is a case off of Lisa Curio. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Angie. This is called a pop-up step window card. So this is a fun fold that will fold flat for your envelope. And the first one I used the Share a Milkshake bundle. So just in the dainty, hey Susan, thanks for joining. The Dainty Delight DSP that you're going to be able to get free right now with that celebration. This paper is fantastic, so you don't want to miss out. You only have about 6 more weeks to jump on that, so you definitely want to be doing that sooner rather than later, because I think once the supplies are gone, the supplies are gone. So if you're watching for something, you definitely want to try to grab that. So this is with the Share a Milkshake. And then I made a shaker card with the Lucky Clover set. So this set is one of my absolute favorites. It's super easy to use, great for beginners. But that shaker card is something I did a little different than what Lisa did. So this is going to fold flat, fit right into your envelope. It probably will require a little bit extra postage, but any of my cards that you may case off, you're probably going to have to add extra postage. Let's just face it. I use a lot of layers. So instead of using one of these two sets that I've shown you, we are going to use the Playing in the Rain set. So hopefully this turns out well, because I haven't made a sample. So let's get started. All right. Yes, thank you, Rosie, for shouting that out. Check out my YouTube channel. So what I have done is I've done some pre-cutting, and I have a piece of 4 1/4 by 9 1/2 paper. I am going to bring out my paper Simply Score tool. And there's a couple of different ways you can do this. Hey, Akikio, thanks for joining. You can do it a couple of different ways. You can start over here, but the very first hash mark is 1/2 inch. So if you want to work from the outside in and then flip it around, you certainly can do that. But I'm going to show you how to score from the end. So we're going to do a 1/2 inch. And this is going to be to create that box. We're going to do 1 1/4 inch. We are going to do 2. We're going to do, I don't think I have that written down. 2 3/4. And then we're going to jump up to 6 3/4. We're going to go to 7 1/2. We're going to go to 8 1/4. And finally at 9. So you'll notice that those hash marks or score lines are symmetrical on each side. Hey, Margaret, thanks for joining. So this is going to create that box. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of Stampin' Seal, and I am going to seal down this piece of yes, Shirley, we're in different time zones. I'm going to just take some Stampin' Seal and stamp or add that DSP to the center panel. And what I'm going to do is just make sure that I've got that nice even edge around there. And I'm going to take my stylish shape dies, and I'm going to cut a pretty large circle here in the middle. Now I'm going to do that off camera, and I'm sorry about that. I don't normally like to do that, but it does take my big die cut machine to do this one, and it shakes my table far too much. I'm looking at new desk setups, so hopefully I can get that. So I'm just going to take some low tack tape and just set it up there. I'm going to try to set that. It looks like I've got that a little too close on one side because I want to center it as much as possible. And the reason for that is these boxes, as you can see, kind of hang over here. So you're going to see it. And that's why I used that border there. So give me 1 second. Talks amongst yourselves. Ooh, this is... All right. So the other thing that you didn't hear me do is I ran this through forward and backwards because you are going through 2 layers. You'll definitely want to use some low tack tape to make sure that it doesn't slip and slide around. But that's going to adhere it on just a little bit. So I'm being super careful as I peel this away. All right. So I'm going to save this for something else because who knows what I may find to use there. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. No, there'll be boho blue, Karen. Don't you worry. All right. I'm going to set 2 of my stylish shaped circles together. We are going to create that banner that goes around. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this and making sure that I have an even. And here's, well, hey, Gavin, thanks for watching, sweetie. Baby boy is apparently on. He and Kenzie must be watching. I would figure they would have something more fun to watch. They're usually in the other room when I'm doing this on Sunday night. All right, so I'm just going to make my sandwich and using the Boho Mini machine that you can get now with the starter kit for just $30 extra. So you're going to save like $33. I think the boho machine is, So it looks like I cut off a little bit, but I think that will work because we're going to cover that portion up. So once again, now we've got to set something else to save for future use. I'm going to throw that away and put those stylish shapes up. Oh, you know what? I didn't need to put my machine up because I'm going to show you another die cut. So the Singing in the Rain DSP has cute little images like this. You can stamp this, but this is adorable. And we are going to pull out the Singing in the Rain die set because I love nothing more than a die that will cut out my DSP. All right, so I'm going to be super careful not to make that shimmy and shake. Using the boho machine again, we're going to give it a cut. And we're going to put this little guy in the corner. Perfect. Oops. So the nice thing about this little machine is you can keep it right at your table. You don't have to get up and use a larger machine. And most of our dies fit in there. And if you look at the catalog or online, it'll say that the mini is available. If the mini will cut all of them. All right, so I'm going to take, I think, some liquid adhesive this time for this guy. And I'm going to be careful where I put my this notched out part. And I think if I put it right here, my rabbit will cover that up. All right. Oh, you know what? Duh. I haven't done my shaker part yet. That's what I'm missing. So just ignore that part of it. All right. So let's do the shaker portion here. So what I have is I have a clear envelope. There we go. So this is the clear envelopes. You get 50 of, holy smokes, you get 50 of them? I had no idea. So you get 50 of these. These make awesome, cute little shaker cards. You can make your card front and just slide it right in, turn it right into a shaker, adhere it onto a card base, easy breezy. What we are gonna do with this one is I'm gonna flip this over and you're gonna see that this is a little too big, but it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tear tape. I'm going to use tear tape because I think it holds a little bit better when you're doing some of these 3D boxes and stuff like that. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and use quite a bit of it actually, because I don't want my sequins and stuff to go past my little circle there. So I'm just gonna try to use as little or as much of this as I can to kind of blockade those things. Oh, Amy, you're not late. You're plenty of time. There's a lot going on tonight with this one. All right. I'm gonna peel off all of these backings. And I use my Take Your Pick tool. I get a lot of questions on Instagram about what this guy is. And so this little fella will help you put your sequins and embellishments on your cards without, quite a bit of ease because of the putty, and that can be replaced. But it also has this sharp pokey end or this flat guy. And I think you guys, if you watched last week, or I think it was last week, I had to do some disassembling. So it came in. Hey, Jamie Sue, thanks for joining. So it came in pretty handy. All right, so there's my back. And I'm going to flip it over because I want to make sure that my top where I'm putting everything in is going to be at the top. So I'm going to double check those because this particular card does have a direction that it needs to go. All right, I'm just going to seal this here. Now it's only going to seal this one side, which is fine. There is a little hangover, and that's fine as well. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut the top off here. And I need to be mindful of how much I'm going to cut off because I don't want it to fold over and then be visible in that panel. All right, so what I have here is a combination of a little bit of everything here. I think this is the Everyday Sequence set. So you get these 3 sets of embellishments that you can use for shaker cards or card fronts. And the colors I thought actually went really well with this card. So I'm going to do a little bit of it in each one. And don't ask me where I got this cute little spoon because I don't have any idea. But when I saw it, I thought that I know what I'm doing with that. Put a little more pink in there. Then we're going to add the balmy blue. I'm going to do 2 of those. And then finally, we're going to add the loose daisy embellishments. So those are part of this ensemble as well. That's what I said. Don't ask me where I got that cute little spoon. All right. So I thought these cute little daisies would go perfect as well. Just kind of mix it up. All right. Now, one of the things I learned when I was doing my early shaker from Sam's when we were sampling, that you may be right, Gavin. All right. I am going to take some of this tear tape and run it on the inside here because I want to seal it as well as I can. All right. Now this wants to kind of come up a little bit. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to take some and put it on the outside. I think Baskin Robbins spoons are pink though, Karen. All right. And then fold that and seal it. So there's your shaker component. So we got all sorts of cute little things that are gonna go in that. Okay, I'm gonna clean this area up here. Oh, I just threw my spoon away. Woo, I can't have that. Dumpster diving I go. All right, so next I'm gonna do some folding and burnishing. So I'm gonna fold. I probably should have folded and burnished before I added that so I could get a really good. All right. And so with these fun folds, you want to make sure and get a really good crease on here. All right. So a good burnish. And so basically what you'll see is you have a box that forms on each side. So this is what I was talking about with our little guy. And it looks like I'm still going to have a little bit of a peak right there. But there's not much I can do about it. Maybe my rabbit will cover it up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more tear tape and I'm going to put it on this very last side. It's got a lot of flipping and turning because basically once you do one side, you just have to do the other. So that does make it easy. So it's exactly the same thing. All right. You are going to fold so that you have two large panels and the bottom panel. And this bottom panel is going to be adhere right there. So basically what I do is I figure out where I'm going to fold so I don't forget. Fold it right there. We'll grab my pick again. And I'm going to fold that down and go in. So there's my box right there. Now, because of the sequence, I'm going to kind of shake those down. And I'm going to just stick my fingers in there and just seal it right down. I'm going to do the same thing with this side. So fold two sides, shake my sequins down. Wow, they really love that corner. And then pop it in. And there's my pop. So there's, I'm going to go ahead and add a little more adhesive to that because it's wanting to pop up a little bit. I'm just going to put it right there. Perfect. So what will happen is when we adhere this to the back of our card base, it will fold flat like that. Thanks, Mary. All right, so I have a piece of garden green card or old olive cardstock, and this is going to go right there over the top. But I'm going to do some, let's do some stamping right now. Kind of change things up a little bit. All right. So what I have here is I have Oh Happy Day. And I think I'm going to stamp that in basic gray. But I have a cute little die cut here from the Stitched Rectangles set. I've die cut that with basic white. I'm going to ink this up good. Hey Martha, thanks for joining. Martha took the joining special deal last week. I hope she gets her kit soon. I can't wait to hear what she thinks of it. All right. Now I'm going to take the Rainy Days Are Better With You. Just going to line this up. Stamp it right here on the side a little bit. I didn't center it because I want to add some raindrops. So we're going to do that with the Balmy Blue. Just randomly stamping, which is perfect because that's, there we go. Let's roll that out of the way. Let's adhere this to the back of our card base. So this is just a 5 1/4 by 4 1/8 card base. So just that 1/4 of your cardstock. Okay, now we'll flip it over. We're going to go ahead and stamp or put this on here, making sure that we have it going the right direction. So make sure if your DSP has a certain direction that you've got that going on there. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball this and see if I have it in the right spot. And I'm going to use my grid paper to help me line things up, I think. There we go. So what I'm doing is I'm lining this up on this dotted line right here. And I'm using this center line. And that's where I want my card base. I think I want to go just a scotch over. And so I'm using this. Yep, that's what I want to do. All right. So I'm using some more of that tear tape. And I'm going to use 2 rows of this. And it's going on the outermost box here. Yep. The outermost. And I'm going to go ahead and do this other side. And I'm trying not to move that now that I have it all lined up. All right. So we're going to do this side first. I'm going to take this tear tape off. Am I making you guys seasick with all this movement? Because I don't want to move that one piece. All right, so once again, I want to line this piece up right there. So I'm going to lay it flat and use my score line here and line it up down at the bottom and line it up at the top. And hold my breath and hopefully it'll be perfect. Nope, it's not. Eek, 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 eek. Don't tear, don't tear, don't tear. I was careful not to push. So sometimes with this tear tape, if you're super gentle, okay, so let's see here. Where do I want it? I want it right here. There we go. All right, here we go. Here goes nothing again. That's too far that way. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Maybe that'll work better than trying to line it up. So this isn't exactly the easiest fun fold, I guess, that I've ever shown you. All right, let's try right there. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, it's not perfect, but it'll work. So now I'm going to peel off the tear tape on this side. And, oh no, man, can anything else go wrong here tonight, guys? I put it upside down after I said pay attention to what you're doing. All right, here we go. Maybe I'll just pop it up and put it on. I think that's going to be the easiest way. I've made 3 of these now, and none of them were this crazy. All right, there we go. Oh, I finally did it. I have no idea what just happened to my laptop. All right, I can't see comments, so I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to take this, and if you make any comments that I miss, any questions, I'll catch them on the replay tonight. So I'm going to take that little bit of glue and set it right there. And so now we have that border that's going to cover up most of it. I'm going to bring in my rabbit and see, I'm going to put him a little high. That'll cover that up. I'm going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals for my rabbit that I cut out with the dies. And throw that right there. And our happy day, we'll just put right there. And I think I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid adhesive for that. All right. After much pain, here is tonight's card. A cute little shaker card with the Playing in the Rain set. So you can catch out the dimensions tomorrow on my blog. That's tarabeth.blogspot.com. I appreciate your patience with me on making sure we got that right. I'll see you here again next Sunday night for another card tutorial. We'll see what I can come up with this week. Thanks so much for joining me, and have a great week.